Okay, so we'll go back to chapter 1 since we have completed all the syllabus, all 13 chapters, yeah. So for chapter 1, what we need to know is about the pattern and the sequence. Okay, so pattern, you have a specific design, a diagram, or a list of the numbers that you can calculate. You can predict for the next term. Okay, you can predict for the next term. And sequence is a series of numbers or diagrams that already arranged according to a pattern. So if I want to highlight the keyword, so pattern means you can predict. Yeah, you can predict the next term. And for sequence is a set of numbers. A set of numbers. So if we give you an example here. Next one, if you see, you look at the example here, number sequence. Number sequence means you list out. Do you see the sequence? 43, next is 38, next is 33, next is 28, and dot, dot, dot. So what is the pattern over here? To predict the next term, what should we do? It's known as pattern. So what's the answer? Yeah, -5. So if you want to explain in a sentence, yeah, it's just not -5, -5 what? You have to complete in a sentence. So the pattern is, make it complete. Is it only like that? A sentence. The pattern is what? Then you have to find the difference, right? The difference between first and second term. So the pattern is subtracting 5 from the previous number. Yeah, subtract 5 to the number before also can. Okay, as long as you got the meaning, so subtracting 5 from the previous number. From the previous number also can. So make it in a sentence. Unless they are asking the pattern is what? In numeral form. Numeral means number. Then you can straight away write -5. If you look at the questions, they give you like fill in the blank, so you make it in the sentence form. So make it complete. The pattern is subtract 5 from the previous number. Okay, so that is what we explain in pattern. Sequence, you list down. Do you see? You list down. It's a series of number. And the pattern you have to mention. Is it plus, minus, times, or divide? Now back to algebraic expression, or we call it n term. You can still recall this is refers to n term. And sometimes, okay, sometimes they will give you another word. They ask you to give a conclusion, or you do a generalization. Okay, I will send you this PDF form later in the groups. Okay, so not to worry. You just pay attention first. Generalization. So it means you have to express in algebraic term. Okay, so you have two ways to write. Okay, you have two ways to write. One is in the formula that we have learned previously, which is if you look at the difference is -5. It means we'll start with minus 5n. Repeated minus. It's just like repeated addition. So 5n, but it's positive. If it's minus, then -5n. To find back the first number, then you go back. Since go to the right side is -5. Go to front, will be +5. So 43 plus 5 is 48. So the algebraic expression is 48 minus 5n. And you have to explain the n. The n start from 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so that is one of the ways that we can write the answer. Now the second method, which usually we will see from the textbook or some reference book, they will start exactly from this number. Yeah, 43. Yeah? So 43 minus 5n. The difference will be what? You have to you have to specific the n start from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, and dot, dot, dot. That's the difference. If you want to use 43, okay, then you have to let n start with 0. Okay, if you use the formula, then you have to let n equal to 1. So if you ask which one is better, okay, I would say this is better, the formula. Because later in Form 4 and Form 5, we'll learn this in additional maths. That is how we create the formula. Yeah. Okay, so there are two methods. Let's say it comes out in objective. Yeah, especially comes out in objective. If you do not see this answer, okay, select this. So you got to know there are two methods. Okay, so basically for chapter 1, you need to know the difference. Okay, you have to differentiate what is sequence, what is pattern, and how you express them in algebraic expression. Of course, some of them will be Pascal triangle and Fibonacci numbers. Okay, I guess you can do, right? Fibonacci number, what that Fibonacci number means? You have to add up the previous two numbers to get the third term or the next term. Okay, so far, is it okay with chapter 1? Yeah, what about you? Chapter 1, any questions you want to ask? Where is Kaishan? I don't know also. No idea. Text already, no reply. Okay, we just move on to chapter 2. Okay, so this is, okay, so if let's say you want to do revision at any time for the exam, a quick one, you can just replay this video today, 23rd of November. So a quick one. So for chapter 2, you must know this relation. Yeah, relation. Expansion is from left to right. You look at the arrow on top. From left to right. Expansion, meaning you multiply. So over here, we are actually applying what? Distributive law. Distributive law. Okay, so if you want to relate back with what you have learned in Form 1. Okay, distributive law. So over here, okay, I write bracket. Distributive law times in. Okay, expansion. And from right to left, factorization. So expansion means times, factorization means divide. So when we talk about factorization, it will back to bracket forms, right? Bracket means divide. Or we can say we need to find out common factor. Yeah, we need to find out common factor. That's factorization. Common factor. Okay, must know the relation from left to right, expansion. From right to left, then we call it factorization. We need to do divide. So we have to have common factor. Okay, so in this chapter, we have expansion, factorization, simplify. Next is simplify, right? Then we have algebraic fraction. So there are 4 parts. Okay, there are 4 parts here. Next, it will go to simplify, then only we have to make it the operation, the operation on algebraic fraction. Now the tips to simplify. Okay, when you do simplify, you must factorize first. You need to factorize, then only you can simplify. Write down yourself. Okay, whenever you want to simplify, when you want to cut, okay, when you want to cut, you want to divide, you must have the common factor first. Cannot just cut, cut away like that. Cut away in your mind, cannot. You have to show out, especially in section C. Yeah, section A and B doesn't matter, but section C you got to show out. Okay, so factorize, then only can simplify. You can write there. That's the tips, yeah. Okay, you need to factorize, then only can simplify. So if you want to get perfect marks, you must remember this sentence. Factorize, then only can simplify. So we will look at one example here. Okay, the summary of chapter 2. Okay, it seems complicated, but we just need to apply the concept. Apply the concept. 1 over y plus 3 plus 3y minus 9 over y squared plus 5y multiplied with another fraction at the back. So according to BODMAS, which we have learned in UPS, BODMAS, we need to solve the multiplication first at the back. This part. We got to solve this part first. Yeah. So when we write, answer, we got to copy and paste whichever fraction which is not solving yet. Okay, example here, 1 over y plus 3. Then plus, okay, at the back, we have to simplify first. If you want to multiply like this, you can, but it will be complicated. Got it? If you want to multiply directly, it will be complicated. So we need to factorize. Actually, there are common factors. You find out the common factors first, then only we simplify. The third step would be group it together into the same denominator. All right, so factorize first. Okay, you look at the numerator here, 3y minus 9. So common factor is 3 divided by 3. So, divided by 3 is 1, then this one is 3. So y minus 1 over y squared plus 5y. Common factor is y. Take out the y, bracket, balance is y plus 5. Continue, times y plus 5 over y minus 3. Okay, this one is 3, sorry. Okay, during exam, you do until where you start. Whenever you know how to do, you just write only. Don't stop. Got it? Don't just empty. So next, now we can simplify already. Because we take out all the common factor, we can simplify. So exactly the same one, we can cut. Cut. Y minus 3, y minus 3. Am I right? Correct or not? Correct. Now, y minus 3. Okay. So what is the balance now? We write back first. So 1 over y plus 3 plus the right side, the blue color. We can multiply in already. So you look at the numerator, balance is 3 over at the bottom there. What we have? Y, and then another side, bracket, y plus 3. Okay, so y plus 3. So we have addition in the middle. When we have addition, we cannot simplify. Understand? Simplified is only applicable for multiplication or division. So when we want to do addition or subtraction, we need to equalize the denominator. Now you look at left side, you have the denominator y plus 3, and on the right side, the blue color one, you have y, bracket y plus 3. So meaning on the left one, you just need to multiply with y, then you can equalize the denominator. You just need to multiply with y, but denominator times y, numerator also need to times y. It must be fair. So now you times it, you will get the answer. 1 times y is y plus, follow only, plus 3, follow from left to right. Then over the denominator, y times y plus 3 in the group. And what you can see now, numerator, same group, y plus 3, numerator, denominator also y plus 3. So in this case, we can cut. Okay, we can cut. So the balance is only y as the denominator. So answer is 1 over y. That's the final answer. Yeah, because I just show you the summary. Yeah. So when you have multiplication and division, we can factorize and simplify. But for addition and subtraction, we need to equalize the denominator. Equalize. Okay, that's for the algebraic fraction. This part. Expansion, common factor, the factorization, simplify and algebraic fraction. So I'm going to show you another example here. So when you have division, if you do not know how to do also, you just change the operation symbol, divide to multiply. Don't just leave it there. I don't know how to do this here. But for divide, you can change one. Okay, you change to what? Multiply, then you upside down the fraction. Upside down the fraction, so it will become 3 over a plus b. Okay, so in front, okay, you look at here, a square plus 2ab plus b square. If you know how to factorize, then you factorize. Okay, so how to factorize, you will get what? A square plus 2ab plus b square. If you factorize, you will get a plus b, right? Okay, so a plus b is times a plus b. Denominator 3c, nothing can be factorized. So just copy. After that, only we simplify. Remember, only multiplication or division can be simplified. So you don't cut the AB at the back. So here multiplication. So a plus b, 3 divided by 3 is 1, divided by 3 is 1. So now we can group together first. So the answer will be here, a plus b over c. Okay, numerator, denominator. Okay, no more already. After multiply, then plus AB. Plus AB. Okay, so if you want to have algebraic fraction, a single fraction, like this, then you have two fractions. Got it? You have two fractions because you have addition in the middle. So you have to equalize the denominator. Make the denominator same. How? You let AB over 1. AB, you just write over 1. So how to equalize the denominator? Times C. Times C. On the right side, you multiply with C. Then you can group already. So the final answer will be A plus B plus ABC over C. Just like this. Single fraction. But a kind reminder, you cannot cut away the C. When you want to cut, it must be a same group. Unless you have A plus B plus A plus C as denominator, then only you can cut. In this way, you cannot cut. That's the final answer. Okay, so that's the summary of chapter 2, expansion and also factorization. Okay, so have more practice during school day. You can just take any exercise from this chapter or try with the algebraic. Yeah, it's good. Okay, it's a foundation if you go up to secondary school. It's not only for Form 2, it's not only for PT3. Okay, so yeah, spend more time in this chapter 2 and chapter 3. So move on to chapter 3 when we talk about algebraic formula. Algebraic formula is actually formed by a subject and variables. As you can see there, P equal to 3x minus 4y. So P alone on the left side, okay, the coefficient means the number in front of P. The number in front of P is 1. Okay, so P is a subject because it's only one alphabet. Now, equal to 3x minus 4y. So x and y is known as variables. Okay, you can find the value of x and y. So if you have the two terms together, yeah, these two terms together, we can say 3x minus 4y is known as algebraic expression. Yeah, algebraic expression. Okay, sorry. Algebraic expression. Okay, and all together, subject with algebraic expression, all together, it become algebraic formula. Formula. So this is algebraic formula. Okay, so that's not much about this chapter. You just need to know basically the name. Okay, so it's formed by the subject and the algebraic expression. Then you need to know how to switch. How to switch. So when you switch one variable by one variable. Okay, so we just do a quick exercise here. Now, express n in terms of m and p. So we want to make n to be subject. So we circle or we highlight first where is n. So when you want to move, we have to move from the far, the furthest one. Okay, so we start from the square root. Move away the square root from the left side to the right side, it becomes square. So when you want to insert a square on the right side, now you look at the right side, there is a group equal to P plus 4. P plus 4 is a group. So if you want to switch the square root over, you got to write, you got to insert what? The bracket. So it will be 2 minus m over n equal to, insert the bracket, P plus 4, then square. The square root over here has moved over to the right side, becomes square. So this is a common mistake. You must remember, if there is a group on one side, then you insert the bracket. So next, okay, next is very simple. You look at the n at denominator. Another group on the right side, P plus 4 in bracket square, is numerator. So you can ask them to switch also. Switch. So one come up, one come down, another one go up. Okay, you come down, I come up. Not you jump, I jump. You come down, I go up. So it will be 2 minus m over, bring down the whole thing, P plus 4 in bracket square, then equal to n. And this is the answer because n is alone already. N has the coefficient equal to 1. So you got the answer. Just only 2 steps. Sometimes you think it's complicated, but if you know the concept, it's easy. Okay, so for chapter 3, you just need to switch. Pindah-pindah. Okay, so far, any questions to ask? No, all good, huh? Okay, chapter 4. Chapter 4, we learn about polygons. Then you need to know the name. Quadrilateral is the name of the four-sided shapes. It's not the square. Okay. So when we talk about regular polygon, what does it mean? Regular. 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 Has equal angle. What else? Equal angle. Line. Still got what? size, okay? Go on. Okay, I just write same lah. Okay, equal. Put equal. Equal length lah, equal length. Same size. What else you know about regular polygon? Same angle. Anything else? The axis of symmetry, yeah. When the questions ask about number of axis of symmetry, then it will be equal to the number of sides. Only applicable for regular polygons only, yeah. If it's irregular, cannot. So number of axis of symmetry will be equal to the number of sides. So if that is a regular pentagon, so the axis of symmetry will be 5. All right. Okay, equal. Let me just complete number of sides. Okay, so now I have example here. Okay, I have draw 3 lines and dotted lines there. So can I say this is a regular hexagon? Do you think this is a regular hexagon? No. Why do you say so? Why do you say no? Incomplete, I see, because it's an incomplete polygon. Okay, with the dotted lines, with the dotted lines is an incomplete polygon. But if I want you to prove to me that this is a regular hexagon, so how will you do? Just drawing the line? No, cannot. I repeat my questions. How to prove that this is a regular hexagon? 180 minus interior angle, or 360 over exterior angle. Yes, so you are actually finding the number of sides. Yeah, in another meaning, we are finding number of sides. So if there is any incomplete polygon, you want to find out the name of the polygon, we are actually finding the number of sides. Okay, so the formula will be 360 degree over 1 exterior angle over 1 exterior angle. And the exterior angle here, it doesn't mean that outside. Usually we say outside. It's not outside. The exterior angle is actually the supplementary angle of the interior angle. Let me repeat again. The 360 degree over the exterior angle is actually referred to supplementary angle of the interior angle. So how to find that? So you have to extend the straight line, and the exterior angle is here. Because exterior plus interior inside will be 180. That is what is meant by supplementary angle. Total up is 180. So this is exterior angle. All right, so very important. If there is incomplete polygon, to find number of sides, this is the formula. Now to find sum of interior angles of a polygon, a normal polygon only, a normal one. So it will be number of side minus 2 times 180. So if it's irregular polygon, to find out the balance angle, then you have to find out the sum first, then you minus. And sometimes they will ask, what is this? N minus 2 refers to what? N minus 2 is to find what? Number of triangles that can be found in the polygon. That's right. Yeah. N minus 2 times 180 degree. So if given is a regular polygon and you want to find interior angle, then only we use this sum of interior angles to divide it by number of sides, divided by n. So basically, it's not difficult. You must know all the angles only. If it's a sum of interior angles of a triangle is 180, quadrilateral 360. Furthermore, then you just use the formula. Okay, so especially we discuss a little bit on the isosceles triangle. Isosceles triangle, isosceles triangle, it means you have this is a three-sided triangle, then only two sides are equal. Yeah, only two sides. Okay, now assuming these two sides, so we put the labeling like this. So when you have, okay, listen carefully, yeah. If you have an isosceles triangle, especially later it comes out in the question, in the topics like coordinates to find midpoint. Yeah, to find midpoint. So the axis of symmetry, you should know, right? Where is the axis of symmetry? This is the middle, right? Just cut like this. So I just put dotted line, axis of symmetry. Yeah, middle. So I can also say this is what? The midpoint. The midpoint. So let's say you have this on the graph paper. So if you want to find midpoint, then it will be the axis of symmetry. Yeah, must understand what is isosceles triangle. Yes, and if you want to find area, especially when you want to find area of isosceles triangle, what's that? Or the formula to find midpoint. Okay, so especially when you want to find area of triangle, area of isosceles triangle, 1/2 times base times height, right? So where's the base? Base is line AB. And the height of the triangle is the axis of symmetry. AB times the straight line. Yeah, I think a lot of students always forget about this isosceles triangle. So this is the properties. Properties. So when you go to the angles, it's the same. When you cut it, okay, so you have similar angle here. Okay, similar angle. And then the angle of CAB is equal to the angle of CBA. So if I want to label this angle, same as this angle. Okay, got it? Can I? All right, so that's about polygon. Yeah, the most important one. Okay, then what about circles? Circles. Okay. So you have 5 choices there. So you have 5 choices here. Center of what is that? TMR. A center of circle, radius, circumference, diameter, and chord. So I'm going to read out the characteristic. Then you type in the chat box. Tell me what is this. Okay. Perimeter of a circle. What does it call? Perimeter of a circle. Perimeter of a circle. You can choose from the choice there. Yeah. Joel, so what's your answer? Perimeter of a circle is known as. So while you type, I just show you where is the perimeter. Perimeter. Okay, yeah, perimeter. So it's known as circumference. Okay, circumference. Yes. Okay, good. Circumference, very good. So perimeter of a circle. So in case the questions it goes like that, calculate or count or find the perimeter of a circle. Then you can apply the formula to find circumference. You don't say, teacher never teach me perimeter. I come after you. Okay, so perimeter of a circle is known as circumference. So formula to find circumference is 2 pi r. 2 pi r. Yeah, 2 pi r. So I repeat 3 times already. 2 pi r circumference. To find area of the circle, pi r square. Pi r square. Area of a circle, pi r squared. Okay, so next, what is the name of the straight line which joins 2 points on the circumference? What is the line joins 2 points on the circumference? Let's say you have 2 points here. 1, 2. So you have a straight line joining these 2 points on the circumference. It's known as chord. Yes, you're right, chord. If they are not mentioning passing through the center, then it should be chord. You cannot write diameter. Okay, that's the difference. Cannot write diameter. So for the diameter, you have to have the keyword which is passing through the center of the circle. That's the difference. Yeah, for diameter. Okay, next, one last simple one. A fixed point that is equidistant from all points on the circumference. What is the name? Again, a fixed point that is equidistant from all points on the circumference. Okay. What's the name? Center of the circle. Yes, center of the circle. Now, next, harder question. How to find center of circle? How to find center of circle? Let's say now you have a circle like this. So the questions ask you to construct and find the center of the circle. So what should we do? Bisector of perpendicular line. That's very good. Okay. So step 1, you have to draw. Step 1, draw a chord first. And anywhere, as long as it's a chord. Then you have to construct a perpendicular. So perpendicular. So it will be something like this. Okay. Forgot how to draw. Okay, so perpendicular. You just place the sharp one over here, then you curve up and down. Remember not? Curve up and down. Up and down. Then the sharp one, cucuk here. Then place here and here. Then you draw the line. Okay, you draw the line. Then you have how long? As long as it's crossing the circumference. Yeah, just crossing. And then you have to do 2. You cannot just do 1. Then you have to draw another side, build another chord again. Okay, another chord again. Then you do the same thing. Do the same thing. So you cucuk the sharp one at here. Then you curve up and down. Up and down. Then another side cucuk. Then you curve. So you will have 2 straight lines. No need to be same length. No need. As long as it's crossing. What does it mean crossing? The line is going out. See, going out, touching the circumference. Then you must make sure the 2 straight lines got an intersecting point. Intersecting point. So this will be the center of the circle. That is how you construct center, the crossing line, the intersection. Now we will use this characteristic or properties, of course, to find the length. Okay, which will proceed find the length. Okay, that's another part. You need to find out the length, right? Okay, assuming here or center O, and this is A. Find out the length of OA. So how to find the length of OA then? You got to draw a line joining the O to the side to form radius. The blue color line, as you can see there, this is radius. Radius. Then you can use back the theorem Pythagoras. So a square equal to b square minus plus, okay, b square plus c square, something like this. Okay, just need to plus to find out the hypotenuse. Okay, then for the properties of this chord, properties of this chord, when you have perpendicular to the radius, then you will automatically divide the length of the chord into equal two parts, same length. That's the properties. Okay, now you fill in the blank. Sorry, before we fill in the blank, just a quick one. The formula to find circumference is 2 pi r. Hence, to find arc is part of the circumference. Part of only. So you need to know the angle subtended over here. The angle. Okay, the angle covered by the part. Okay, so to find arc, angle over 360 degree times 2 pi r. And to find sector, you just need to change the formula at the back, because sector means part of the area of the circle. Arc means part of the circumference. So you just need to change the formula at the back. Okay, that's the formula to find. And the formula is given in during the exam. Yeah, so if you forgot, please check. Okay, next. Fill in the blank. Axis of symmetry of a circle is the what of the circle? Axis of symmetry of a circle. Draw out this is a circle. Then the axis of symmetry. Half. What is the name of that dotted line? What is the name of the dotted line? Diameter. So the axis of symmetry is actually it's the same, equal to the diameter. This one you must know also. Axis of symmetry refers to diameter. A radius that is perpendicular to a chord divides the chord into two. Just now I show you when you have perpendicular. You have a chord, then you have perpendicular. Yes, you're right. Into two equal parts. You must know, two equal parts means same length. Okay. The perpendicular bisectors of two chords meet at the what? Center. That's how we find center of the circle. Right? That's how we find the center of the circle. Okay, proceed. Now, example. The questions come out in this chapter. So the most important, please write it in an equation form first. Form equation. Form equation. Okay, so no matter how easy or how hard the question is, so you try to form an equation. Now look at these questions. Find the radius of a circle. Find radius, right? Which has an area. So what is given? Area of the circle. Yeah, move here and there. Yes, you're right. So you just need to form equation first. Before you try to move here and there, write down the equation first. Okay, area of the circle, you just memorize law. Or what is the formula to find area? Pi r square, right? Area equal to pi r square. So given area is 706. So pi r square equal to 706.95. Okay, this is what you must write. Not the formula in general. So it's this. So whichever number you have, you just replace it. Then you will know what to do. So we know the value of pi is 22/7. So you find out R one by one. Now, what if the questions change it to find the rate or find the diameter? Find the diameter. So how do we form the equation? Same thing, no? Correct? Same thing, no need to change the diameter one. So given an area of the circle, just write down pi r square. That's why I say no matter easy or hard, the formula is just right. This formula is only pi r square. So you form the equation, same thing, you write down pi r square equal to this. Then you have to relate radius and diameter. So same thing, you find out radius first, then to find diameter, just times 2, just like that only. You play with the formula. So if you look at the formula, area equal to pi r square, they can ask you the length of the radius, area, and then they will not ask you the pi, the value of pi, because the value of pi will be given. Okay, so if it's a circumference equal to 2 pi r, same thing, they will ask you radius, can ask you to find circumference, they can ask you to find diameter. Just play along with the formula only. Okay, the next one. Okay, the next question here. Given the area of the shaded sector is 66 centimeter. So again, find the radius. So form the equation again. Yeah, please form the equation again. So area of the sector, I write in general form first. Area of sector equal to the angle subtended over 360 degree times pi r square. If you forgot how, check the formula at front. Final exam they will give you. Yeah, I think school will give you, because during PT3, during SPM, they will provide you the formula list. Okay, so just substitute whatever number you have, then you find out. So when you form the equation, area is 66. Okay, you can write 66 and right lah. So the angle subtended over 360 degree times pi times radius don't know. You can substitute with p square equal to area of the sector given radius, which is 66. You write down like this, already got mark. You got it or not? Already got mark. Before you solve, you already awarded 1 mark. So please write down the formula. Just replace with the number only. Or don't waste it, because basically nowadays the KSSM syllabus, they just want to test your understanding. Yeah, more than calculation, understanding. So you just form the equation. All right, that's about chapter 6. Okay, let's move on to chapter 6. Just now circle chapter 5. Okay, chapter 6, 2D to 3D. The name of the title is what? 3-dimensional geometrical shapes. So 2D to 3D, what is the extra 1D? What is the extra 1D? 2D to 3D? The 3 sides. No, volume. And what is the extra 1D refer to from 2D to 3D? Anyone? I know 3-dimensional, okay, 3D is a short form. What is the extra 1D? Then we have 4D. Then what is the extra 1D? More realistic? No. What is the extra 1D refer to? No idea? 2D is faces, right? We talk about faces, surface. 2D, we talk about surface. Then you only can see flat faces only, or flat faces only. But 3D, you will see the height, involving the height. Yes, you're right. Okay, so the extra 1D is times height. So how the general form comes from? Base area times height, because extra 1D. You know what is 4D or not? Last time, if you go to Genting Highland, then you wear the spec, then you go in, then you have 4D field. You know what is 4D? What's the extra 1D then? It's a smell. And then you know it's the movement. Then transformation, right? What you have learned. You go in, you play, and then sit on the chair will move one. If the screen show you the roller coaster, then your chair also is as though like you are sitting in a roller coaster. So that's extra 1D. So basically, 2D to 3D, extra 1D is the height. So the general formula to find volume, when we talk about volume, will be base area times height. Okay, when we talk about volume, so it will be base area times height. So it will be good if you can memorize the formula. It will be good. You can't, just refer the formula list at front. Is that okay? Now, so when we talk about this chapter 6, you only need to know two things. The first one is 2D, which is the total surface area. Surface area. That means you have to know all the nets. Ya, bentangan in PM, all the nets. Means when a 3D is being opened. So what are the faces? Okay, so you need to know the nets. And for 3D volume, you need to know the 3D shapes. Especially some words, composite solid. You know what is composite solid? Composite solid means two or more than two 3D shapes combined together. So if you want to find volume of the composite solids, that means you just plus, sum up all the volume. Okay, so let me just draw one example here. Okay, one example here. Okay, then you have a line like this. Okay, then the questions ask to find the remaining volume. To find the remaining volume or the shaded region, the shaded volume. So before you find out the answer, you got to ask yourself, what are the 3D shapes in here? What are the 3D shapes you can see from this diagram? Is this a composite solid? Do you think this is a composite? No? Yes, I will say yes. There are more than one 3D shape. Yes, there are two cones. There are two cones. So it's a composite solid. So to find the shaded volume, the remaining volume, so how to find? The volume of the whole, okay, yeah. And then minus not the shaded one. The not shaded one is a small cone, right? So I will rather say volume, volume of the big cone, the big one. Okay, show you the big one. So you know what is the formula to find cone, right? 1/3 pi r squared h minus volume of the small cone, the small one, means the not shaded one. So for all volume, remaining composite solid, all play with the 3D shapes only. You just need to know what shapes you have from the diagram. It's either plus or minus one. Okay, so now let's try. Okay, next, one more. I want to specifically talk about prism. Prism. So prism means what? What is prism? I think you know what is cone, what is cylinder, what is sphere. Then what about prism? So we talk about prism. Before we talk about prism, let's draw first. Got many types, yes. Okay, so whenever we draw prism, let's say now we want to draw trapezium. Trapezium prism. So we draw out trapezium first. One at front, one at the back, right? And then we will join the vertex to another vertex. Join. Then it forms a triangular prism. A trapezium prism. Trapezium prism. So now if I want to draw triangular prism, same thing. I draw a right angle triangle, one at front, one at the back. Then I join. Again, join, join, join. I can also draw pentagon. Pentagon prism. So draw out the pentagon first one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then another one at the back. Okay, hexagon, the prism, all same. So the idea is, whenever I want to draw the prism, I will draw out, if you can see what I will draw. like this. Okay, and connected. The base area, not the lines. The line is the last. The line is the last. So from here, the prism can do conclusion. If you look at the orange color one, you look at the orange color, is the basic shape first. Exactly congruent shapes. You can say congruent. And these two shapes actually are parallel. Same, yeah, congruent. You see, congruent in maths. The term is used to replace the same is congruent. Okay, so you see, look at the trapezium. One trapezium at front, one trapezium at the back. They're gone same, triangular shape. Okay, and they are parallel. They are actually parallel. So to find volume of the prism, okay guys, to find volume of the prism, so we have to use, we call this as cross-sectional area. Still about the area multiplied with, we change a bit, length of the prism. So if you let the prism stand up, not base times height, then you were wrong. You'll be wrong. It will be confusing. So if, let's say, you let the prism stand up, the length of the prism is as though like the height. So if you look at the prism, you go and shade which two shapes are exactly the same. And the line connecting the two shapes, the two same shapes, will be the length of the prism. This is known as the length of the prism. Okay, or the black color line. So if I ask you why cylinder is not a prism, why cylinder is not a prism? Since I show you already trapezium prism, pentagon prism, triangular prism, but why not cylinder? Since with cylinder we also draw like that, join only. How different is it? Systems that also got, the cross-sectional area and also the length of the prism. Okay, now look at this part. No worry, I will send to you. You just pay attention here. Because according to prism, it has what? Two flat polygonal bases, means the basic shape, which are congruent and parallel. So I write as two flat polygonal bases which are congruent. Congruent in maths means exactly same. Any idea? I mean, any questions? Can understand or not on this part? Can understand? Yeah. Okay. Other flat surfaces. Other flat surfaces. Now I scroll up again. If you look at the prism, you look at the flat surfaces. You know where is flat surfaces or not? Here. Yeah, this part, this part, this part, at the bottom, at the back. Not equal. It's not equal. You see, you look at the area, it's not equal. All the area is not equal unless this is same, but other than that, it's not equal. So here, other flat surfaces are quadrilateral shape. If you look carefully, it's quadrilateral. Cylinder is out because cylinder is a curved face. That's why cylinder is not a prism. Got me? So I write here, quadrilateral shape. Okay, so the cross sections are same and in polygonal shape. Polygonal means like polygon. It cannot be circle. Circle is circle a polygon or not? Guys, is circle a polygon? No, that's why cylinder is not a prism. So the cross section are same and in polygonal shape. Polygonal shape again, the meaning is like you must be in polygon. Polygon. Okay, that's about prism. So volume, volume, cross-sectional area times the length of the prism. The length of the prism. Okay, so next. So volume, I think you know already. You can just refer to the formula list. Next, we'll move on to coordinates. Okay, coordinates. Now, when we talk about coordinates, we can combine few chapters. There are a lot can ask. So talk about the basic one first. Coordinates. Coordinates means we want to find out a place, a location. So we will write it in X bracket Y, this form, X and Y. Now, basic one, we will find distance, right? Distance, we have this formula, and to find midpoint, we have that formula, the formula on the right, distance on the left. But if you want to find the distance of AB, so we join the straight line A to B. It's a horizontal line, and point A and point B is on the same height, ketinggian yang sama. So we no need to use formula, need not to use. You can just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So the distance we call it 9 units. So for coordinate, we specifically will mention distance. Yeah, sometimes you will say length, but most precisely it will be distance of AB. Okay, distance. Okay, so 9 units. If it's a vertical line from A to D, vertical line, also we just need to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 units. Unless the line showing, is a slanted line like AC, then only we use the formula. Okay, the formula to find distance, square root of x square plus y square. Yeah, x square plus y square. So this is actually to find the hypotenuse. It's the same. It's the same. Now, harder question. See if you understand or not. X2 minus x1 actually refers to what? X2 minus x1 inside the bracket. Inside the bracket, x2 minus x1. Okay, coordinates, yes. So if we use x2 minus x1 is to find horizontal distance. Yes, you're right. Okay, we can conclude this as horizontal distance. So if you use horizontal distance square plus the vertical distance, square it, then we can also find the distance. We want total, yes. Okay, we want to find hypotenuse, so it's as though like finding the total. So sometimes they can give you, here they give you 6 units, then they give you here 8 units, then they ask find the distance of AC. So it's just like finding the hypotenuse. 6 square plus 8 square equal to, and then you square root the answer. So AC is 10 units. So it's not only rely on the formula, just take x2 minus x1. No, you must understand the concept. You can use also the distance to find. Yeah, horizontal distance, square it, plus vertical distance. Because it's the same as how we find the hypotenuse. Right? So clear? Okay, so finish about the distance. Next, we go to midpoint. Midpoint means the point sitting at the middle of the line segment. If let's say you have AB, so you count on this now 9 units, right? So middle means after 4.5. After 4.5 unit, so here is the midpoint. I label it as M, midpoint. So where is the midpoint of AD? Here, 2.5. How we get 2.5? 5 units divided by 2. So you have the midpoint. So for AC, we cannot just count. How to count 1 box, 2 box, 3 box, cannot. And then we have to apply the formula. Midpoint, x1 plus x2 over 2, comma, y1 plus y2 over 2. Midpoint, point means coordinate. That's why your answer must be in bracket form. Unless they ask you what is the value of x, then you no need to write in bracket form. Only when they ask you to find midpoint, the coordinates, then you have to leave your answer in bracket form. Okay, midpoint. Then other than distance and midpoint, they can ask you about gradient. So what's the meaning of gradient again? Gradient. Gardenia gradient. Gradient. How the line? Okay, is the steepness of the line slanted? Yes, you're right. So for line AC, yeah, for line AC, can I say line AC inclined upwards? Line AC upwards. Can or cannot? True or not true? Not true. Why? Upwards one it's not upwards man. A to C or C to A or line AC or CA. It's not upwards. It must be A to C. There's no arrow also. Let's say we want to measure the gradient of AC. It's not mentioning also. It just asks gradient of AC. Then how we know it's upwards or downwards? If no arrow, count how to count? Can I take it from C to A now? If I want to calculate gradient? How you know it's negative? Yeah. That's my questions. How you know it's negative? Can I take when I want to find gradient? That means your concept is not strong yet. When I want to find gradient of AC, can I just take it as CA? No, right? As you said, okay, horizontal going left. Yes. Okay, because when we read the line incline, yeah, the right inclinations of the line, it's either upwards or downwards. It must be from left to right. No way from right to left. Yeah. So it must be from left. That's the theory. From left to right. So no argument here. From left to right. So when we look from left to right, it's downwards. Okay, that's the idea. Downwards. So the gradient is in negative form. You are right. Hence, the value of the gradient is negative form. So how to find gradient? What is the formula? You only got two. Okay, basically we only got two formula. If you have 2 points, 2 coordinates to find gradient, then it will be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And if you have intercept form, so you start with negative y-intercept over x-intercept. Okay, so if you have the graph form like this, touching both x and y axis like this, and then you can use the second formula. So the answer will be negative 6 over y. So makes sense because the line from left to right is downwards. So the value of the gradient is in negative form. Okay, it's in negative form. Now take from the first formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, I have asked the question just now. y2 minus y1 is actually referred to vertical distance, and x2 minus x1 refer to horizontal distance, right? Not h, it's not to find that's h is to find the length, the distance. Here is the steepness of the line, we call it gradient. So this formula, in orange color one, okay, yeah, so the orange color one, we derive from the y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So you must know this formula also. Vertical distance over horizontal distance is to measure gradient. So what is gradient again? The steepness or the slant. How the lines are the slanted line, the steepness of the line also can. Okay, so back to the example just now. Gradient of line AB equal to, gradient of line AB equal to, what is the gradient? A horizontal line. Is it steep or not steep? Just put it in simple way. Y37, the gradient, how steep the line is. Gradient means steep, how steep the line is. Line AB. What is the value of the gradient? Equal to 0, because it's not steep at all. You don't need to use any energy walking on the floor AB, right? So the gradient is 0. Oh no. If it's AC, if you want to find, okay, you can calculate, but the value of the gradient is in negative form. Negative form. Then what about AD? Line AD, the gradient of line AD. Undefined, you are right. Okay, so the symbol is like the sushi, right? The ballet 8, the song 8. Okay, or last one, what is the gradient of line CB or line BC? So when we measure the gradient, the direction is not important because we are only measuring the steepness of the line, from left to right. So it's moving upwards. So the gradient is in positive value. You're right, basically. So that's the summary. A horizontal line, gradient equal to 0. Vertical line undefined because it's too steep. It cannot be like this Spider-Man, okay, or walk up, cannot. Okay, so you have positive and negative value. So the formula to find gradients, there are only 3. Okay, because this kind of questions, I just want to show you, it comes out in this year, last year, but it tested in March 2021. So they ask you, they are given, so the questions is given what? The gradient of the staircase is 0.25. As you can see from the diagram, you have the gradient of the staircase is 0.25. So you have the height is 1.5 meter. So this one is combined with Form 3 syllabus. So in order to find out the angle, you need to find out the distance, okay, or the length of the floor first, the green color line. The green color line, as you can see, that I already shaded. You can see or not? Here, the distance. Can you find or not? This is under Form 2 syllabus. Correct. So the gradient is equal to the vertical distance over horizontal distance. So meaning 0.25 equal to 1.5 over the floor. Just write this. Then you can find out already, the length is actually 1.5 over 0.25. Answer 6 meter. So it will ask. So if you learn now, it doesn't mean that you just only use for PT3 or Form 2 final exam. So you will carry out until SPM. See, last year it come out a lot of gradient. Okay, this is one of the questions in paper 2. Now a bit harder. We go to SPM already. Not yet PT3. Then I show you SPM questions already. Okay, same goes to these questions. Determine the gradient of the straight line. See, gradient. Can find or not? Okay, try. What's the answer? A, B, C, or D? What's the gradient of this straight line? Straight line PQ? P. Simple, right? Who say SPM is harder? It's hard? No, easier than PT3. No, just in case come up questions like this. If you know, that is easy. If you do not know, then it's hard. Okay, so same thing, gradient. So up to you. Okay, another example here. It's up to you to use which formula, because whenever formula also you can find out the answer. And then common sense, don't choose, never choose C and D, because the line is moving outwards. It can't be in negative form, right? Okay, so you can use the intercept form also. gradient equal to negative y-intercept over x-intercept. So positive 1/2. Okay, go back. So these are the formulas. Okay, finish about the gradient. Then we talk about chapter 8, types of relation. We have 4. We have 4 types of relation. So the type 1-to-1 and many-to-1 are considered as function only. The reason is because one object or objects can be only paired to one image. It can be only paired to one image. That's the reason. So why the relation is considered as a function? So when you want to answer, you have to answer is a one-to-one relation or many-to-one relation. Or you can just answer because it has only one image. Okay. So for functions, it can be represented in arrow diagram form, graph form on the left, and order pairs on the right. Okay. So for arrow diagram, okay, look at the arrow diagram here. So what kind of relation is this? What kind of relation is this? Many to many. Not really. Many to many, meh? Not really. Many to one, no. Look carefully. One to many, right? Because one object paired to many images. Oh. Okay, can you list down the domain for me or not? Domain. What are the domains over here? If you just answer like that, correct. Was with the bracket, with the set notation. So domain is with the set notation, list down the elements, -1, 0, 2, and 3. Then what about codomains? Codomains on the right side, codomains, 2, 3, is it including 4? Yes, okay, including 4 also. Okay, codomain. Then what about range? Range. Is it including 4? No, right? It's 2 and 3. So that's the difference. Domain is on the left. On the left, actually, is the value of x lah. Yeah, x coordinates. Y coordinate means codomain. And for the range is the values that is being paired to. Yeah, being paired to. In domain, codomain, and range, when you write the answer, must be careful. You must with the set notation. Without means wrong. Yeah, we'll send the whole copy. Yeah, we'll send the whole copy to you guys later in the WhatsApp group. No worries. Okay, so same thing if you have graph form and then if you want to write in order pairs. So this is how you write. This is how you write in set notation and also in a graph. In a bracket form because it's like coordinates, order pairs. Now it has the meaning. So I'm going to read out the definition, then you let me know is domain, codomain, object, image, or range. Answer together, Joel. All possible set of function input values refers to all possible set of function input values. So if I make it short, possible input values. Possible input values. All possible input values. Change already because of all, right? All possible input is domain. All possible input values. Why input? If you look at the arrow, you know why it's input. You input -1, then arrow show you get 3. That's what it means. So all possible input values. Okay, next. Elements in the codomain that is related to the object. Again, elements in the codomain that is related to the object. So refer to the elements. Elements is image. Elements in the codomain related to the object. Okay. Otherwise, elements in the domain, then it will be object. Yeah. Elements in the domain. Okay. Then what about codomain? Want to guess or not? Or possible what? Output. Yes, output values, because the arrow show to the codomain. So all possible output values. And for range is actual. Why actual? When you have the pair, we also say, right, when we have the pair, then only is considered as range. So it's actual output values. Okay, so that's the definition. Okay, now the next part in chapter 8, we have this part, steps to draw the graph, right? The steps to draw the graph. So a quick one. First step, you need to construct a table first. Okay, what kind of table? You have to list down x and y. Okay, the table with x and y. Okay, so if you want to draw a straight line, you need to have at least 2 columns. Okay, 2 coordinates to get a straight line. If you're scared, then you do more, doesn't matter what. Okay, so first step 1, construct a table. Then you have to insert the input and output. X is input, Y is output. Okay, then you have to draw axes, the proxy X and proxy Y. Draw the axes with suitable scale, 1 unit to 5 cm. Okay, so you have to draw. And then you plot all the points, then you can connect to get a pattern. Sometimes it's a straight line, sometimes it's a U shape, sometimes it's an F shape. So depending on the table you construct. All right, so these are the steps to draw a graph. Okay, next part. Next part. So you look at this triangular shape, you know, is to find distance, speed, or time. Okay, so to find distance, speed times time. Just play with the triangle. You want to find time taken, distance over speed. Okay, what about formula to find average speed? How to find average speed? Yes, okay. You have to insert total, yeah. Total distance over total time taken. Instead of saying total distance, I will say total distance of whole journey. Yeah, whole journey. Because sometimes when you are calculating the time taken, you forgot about the rest time. Yeah, the rest time should be included. Just like when you travel from KL to Seremban, is traffic jam, and then you stop at R&R to PP, to urine, to eat. So all the time taken must be included. Yeah, included the rest time, because it's about whole journey. Whole journey, in order to get average speed. Okay, then we have acceleration and deceleration. So both are to measure what? What to measure? Acceleration and deceleration. S dot what is that? Hashtag. The changes, yeah, the changes in speed. The changes. So the keyword is changes. So when we have changes, so the formula to find acceleration and deceleration, you have minus. Okay, final speed minus initial speed over time taken. Just like that. And for this chapter, be careful on the unit conversion. That's all. Sometimes complicated is because of the unit conversion. Just take note. Make sure when you find the answer, the unit must be tally. Yeah? Must be tally. Okay. Isometric transformation. Okay, last 3 chapters already. Isometric transformation. Transformation means movement. Yeah, movement. Isometric, what about isometric? What is isometric refers to? Any idea? Same, it means same. Shape, no, it means same. Congruent. Congruent. So it must have same shape, same size. But not position and orientation. We'll discuss this later on. Now for isometric, it means congruent shape and congruent size. Now for types of transformation, we have learned. We have 3, right? So far we have learned 3. Translation, so moving left, right, up and down. So you will have all 4 are same. So we call it isometric transformation. Yeah, isometric transformation applicable for the translation. All same. Same shape, same size, same position, same orientation. Okay, orientation means if you have the right angle showing like this. So after translated, after movement, it will show also the same orientation. Okay, different orientation means upside down. This one is different. This is same. Yeah, orientation. Okay, so for all 3 types, you will have same shape and same size, including reflection and also rotation. Reflection and also rotation. You will have same shape and same size. Just that for reflection, you will have different orientation. Rotation, same thing, different orientation. It depends if it's upside down. Okay, so to describe translation, you need to have the translation vector. We call it vector. So xy. To describe reflection, you need to tell people where is the mirror line. And surprisingly, I have a student saying that she described the reflection. Then she put the reflection line. Put the mirror line. It's wrong. Mirror line is for you to understand only. It should be called what? Reflection axis. Reflection line also can. Reflection line. In the line, reflected in the line what? You have to continue. For rotation, you got to mention about the direction, clockwise or anti-clockwise. And also the degree, 180, 90 or 270. That's how you describe. Okay, then for chapter 12 and 13, we just complete. I think you still have the idea on how to do. So chapter 12, mean, mode, and median. Mode, the highest frequency. It's a quick one I write here. Mode, highest frequency. Median, you have to arrange and find the data at the middle. Yeah, median, middle. Mean is to find average, total up, and then you divide by the total frequency. Yeah, highest frequency. Median, arrange. Remember, you must arrange and the data at the middle. I hope you can read my handwriting later. If not, then you just copy. You can copy later. And chapter 13, the most easiest one, probability. equal to number of events to be happen over number of the sample space total. And from the value of the probability, it should be in between 0 to 1 only. The most or the highest value, the largest value, it can only be 1. 1 means for sure, certain, it must happen. So what is the probability that we have the 10th prime minister? Is 1. We must have. Okay, that's the meaning. Certain, for sure we will have one. If it's 0, means impossible. Impossible. Can we have 3 prime minister? Impossible. Yeah, so that's the probability. Measure the chances, right? So probability equal to the number of the events to be happen over the number of the total. We call it sample space. So both when you want to list down the events and sample space, you need to write the set notation also. Yeah, include the symbol. That's all for Form 2 syllabus. Okay, any questions?